Hello, this is Craig Zero, and I'm here to explain the campaign of Freespace 1. It's the year 2335. 14 years of war have passed against the Basudans. An alien race the human encounter during their exploration of the galaxy. Something goes wrong against their first initial negotiations, I don't know. And they enter into war. So they're fighting to see who is the ruler of the galaxy, in a sense of way, of the known galaxy that they have known. Map. So they're fighting. As you can recall, Basudans live in Basuda, Terrans live in Sol System. You're a rookie pilot. You only know fighters, bombers, have lasers and missiles and bombs. But you don't have shields. You have like limited new versions, like new fighters are coming out. Because the old ones were decommissioned, they were not good enough. Early on in the campaign, when you're fighting Basudans, you find out this new species just jumps out of nowhere and starts to slaughter Basudans and Terrans. And you're like, well, who they are? Later on you discover that they have shielding technology, superior weaponry, regardless of lasers, missiles, pretty much every fighter, bomber, cruiser, and destroyer that they have is deadly as hell, that no Shivan nor Basudan can withstand their attack. He designated them Shivans. As you know that they have shielding technology, you try to close the gap. You try to acquire shielding technology in order to at least hold on to their attacks. You capture some of their electronics, a few of them, just to analyze them, and so you can target them, because you cannot target them since they're not known to you at all. You try to create laser cannons that can punch through shields, and missiles that can create damage, create new bombs, create new ships that can withstand them. During that gap, during those missions that you head on and develop this new technology, well, obviously you're a escort and you're a pilot, you find out that, oh well, we need to capture a cruiser in order to study them. We need to study their physiology, we need to study their motives, everything. So what you do is go and capture a cruiser. You're sent on a mission, you capture the cruiser, and you start to study their technology, their motives, everything. But just as the cruiser gets to a station on the rival system, the Shivans send their ultimate weapon, a super destroyer that has beam cannon technology, and somehow they shield that destroyer in order for it to be the ultimate weapon of space warfare. Once you discover that they somehow track the captured cruiser, you're like, how they did it? And how is it possible that they have this beam cannon technology? So they begin to study the super destroyer that they designated Lucifer. In the meantime, you discover that the beam cannon technology actually is created by fluctuations of energy, which they designate the cannons as flux cannon type. But you cannot close that gap because you don't know how to create it. In order to create it, you need to capture it, but how can you capture a super destroyer that has the shielding technology and it's barely well, yeah, it's unstoppable. Let's put it this way. And instead of going on the offensive, you go back into the defensive and trying to protect the Basudin homeworld, since the Shivans found it and they're targeting it through two fronts, from the Nep and from Nileter, and the other front. So what you do is you organize a defense plan in order to stop it, in order for it is only the Lucifer. But things go wrong, the Galactic gets destroyed, and you're sent into the GTT Bastion, the best of the best in the Alliance. Not special operations, but yeah. So Basudins lost their home world. Shivans go and target Earth. So you're trying to stop them from destroying Earth. In the meantime, you discover this ruins that belong to an ancient civilization that fought the Shivans 8,000 years before Basudins and Terrans fought them. And somehow these records contain vital information that enables them to track a ship through subspace. There are these wormholes that you can go in and cut time. You can activate them within the system or to go to other systems, you know, almost like warp space, but different. So you discover that you can track them and that their shielding technology does not work through subspace. So then you say, okay, let's plan an attack. Let's go get it. You devise an attack and barely you made it, because the Lucifer jumps, but you destroy the Lucifer within subspace. When it makes its jump to Earth, it explodes. But its explosion, since it happened in subspace, it severs contact from Earth, so you cannot activate any subspace portal to Earth, since the explosion somehow make a reaction to destroy all subspace portals from Earth. Then comes just clean up the mess type of extension pack that they give you while you join the Special Operations branch known as the Galactic Terran Intelligence. So you're to wipe out the remaining Shivans that they're now somehow defeated. They are not fighting back because they lost like their leader in a sense of way. Or may I put it this way, they found a way to unite these two species to be in peace, to make a relation so they can just expand. Like peace. They have created peace from war. In a sense of way, but no. They still have the genocide, it's just they lost their motives now. Because they lost their best weapon. So you round up, and then you discover that within the GTI there's a plan to overthrow the Galactic Terran Alliance and finally end the Terran Basudin War in favor of Terrans, because they have created the GTD Hades, a destroyer that resembles the Lucifer but it's Terran Shivan hybrid. You're sent up in this few missions to destroy the Hades, and you succeed on destroying the Hades, and you destroy the Galactic Terran Intelligence, and the Terrans and Basudins coexist for a long period of time until Freespace 2 enters, and that's a topic we shall discuss later.